try and take out this tank. Work on the other tank. Medevac is healing. Medevac is destroyed now. Command center provided an excellent sight. So he's gonna have to back off these Marines, as I did quite a few damage to this guy. I'm gonna go to this economy here. However, he's gonna destroy this. Good move by the command center here. Unfortunately, he's gonna die. So good scout, good scouting, very strong building. That's a tip basically when you have a building that you're not really using, except for a command center. But in my case, it was kind of, I kind of had to wait because of these siege tanks and Marines. So I decided to just send it out there and have it provide sight for me. So I killed at least half of his army, destroyed his economy over here. So still sitting very even right now. He is a little bit, he's a little bit stronger than I am right now. He does have, like I said, more siege. He's got a few siege tanks. He's got quite a few Marines. He's getting a Banshee. Does have a Raven. So he's sitting very good right now. As I right now I'm just basically trying to even up this game, trying to, retaliate or turn fire. So doing okay. He does have a medevac here with a tank and 4 Marines. However, he does not notice I have 2 missile turrets here. He is going to back off, and there goes a dropship full of Marines and a tank. So not so good by him. Anyway, I do have a pretty good army. My medevac is now healing. I am doing double meds. Starport, probably going to be seeing a couple reactors go down because I'm a big fan of Vikings, and I like to do Vikings against Terran. He is going to be sending this command center, however, probably going to this island. Like I said, he's probably going to be going to this island to get his economy up again. See, it's a very smart move because I would not have noticed this at all because he's just way too far away off the map. As I did do some scans, making sure he wasn't building anywhere around here or anything, but I did not notice he was building off this island right here because he is going to be trying to get his economy up in this island. He is sitting very good with the minerals right now, so he's just pumping out Banshees, siege tanks still. He's not going as marine heavy as I thought he would. He's got a lot of minerals. He probably should be building some more missile turrets around here or something, because something like this can always happen. As I do send in 3 medevacs, I do notice he has a missile turret here, so I early drop my Marauders and Marines, so doing a massive amount of damage to this economy right now. He is going to send in everything. Siege tanks are over here, which is very good. I did not have any siege tanks threat. Marauders are doing quite a few damage to these Marines and killed a lot of his SUVs. However, he just has a lot more SUVs. He was able to back them off. So good move by him. I was able to get some of a harassment down. So I do notice though that I have no army, obviously. So I'm basically doing what he's doing. Get the siege tank out, get in siege mode, waiting for him to attack. He is going defense, however. He has not moved out with these siege tanks or these Banshees. They could have done a lot of damage over here because I only have Marauders and tanks. I have nothing to retaliate with the air. So I am getting my first Viking out, however. So you're going to be seeing quite a few Vikings coming out of these starports. I need to get reactors. The reactors are very crucial in a game like this because they can pump out 2 Vikings, 2 medevacs at a time. So I have 2 starports. 2 reactors, 4 starports. Or I'm sorry, 4 Vikings. So anyway, first Viking is coming out now, and I do notice that I'm going to be noticing that he has a siege tank and a medevac right here. So very good move by him. You always want to make sure you have the high ground in this game because Terrans are like the masters of high ground. They are able to put siege tanks, Marauders, anything with a distance would always win basically. So he does have his second economy up again. He just decided to put down the mules over here. So and is going missile turret heavy. Very good move. You always want to make sure when you have an island you go defense with the air because that's the only way that you can get in is by air. Unless you have a proxy building somewhere, but that's just too small of an island to be proxying anyway. So anyway, he is going to be putting him in a vac. Is transferring his SUVs over there. So. And I just do not notice that he has this economy over here. I still think he's got this one economy. He's got a 3rd command center up, so he's going to be getting a 3rd expansion up, as I have a 3rd command center. So I'm probably going to be moving this thing up shortly. So I am deciding to go Viking heavy now. I have 5 Vikings, excuse me. Still haven't built a reactor yet, so Right now, just gonna be able to see what he's got, and I'm gonna be noticing. Looks like I'm gonna be noticing he has this expansion over here, and this is I think right here, he just has his second expansion up. Did not notice this expansion all the way over here. Should have done better at scouting, but I wasn't able to scout that island over there. So anyway, I do notice he has a siege tank here, and I am going to land my Vikings right on top of his siege tank, so he can't do any damage. He isn't on siege, but he just can't get anything off. So no damage to my Vikings, and I am just going to basically be harassing. I'm not moving in because I do notice he has all of his Marines and tanks. So he's just going to keep him there right now. Good move by him, keeping his expansion up here. His mineral income is just as good as mine right now. I believe he isn't. Well, actually, no, his is a lot better because of this expansion over here. But this expansion here, I'm only mining off one base so far. This base is almost completely saturated. I am going over here though with one SUV in the command center. Going to be able to mine this island over here. So I do have a medevac here. I do not think he noticed this medevac because I'm actually going to be landing my medevac in his main base. But fortunately, I decided to land it right near these Banshees and Marines and siege tanks. It wasn't a good move by me. You know, it basically wasn't. I didn't want to do a heavy harassment. I just wanted to see what he had. You know, I do notice that he's building Banshees. He's got a 4th command center up now, and this game is definitely turning into a macro game. I do notice that this Marine did kill like 3 SUVs, so that's okay. I mean, it did halt his gas production just a tiny bit. So he's got quite a few Marines, quite a few siege tanks, and I'm just surprised he has not, you know, decided to move out. He's just been defensive this entire game, which isn't a bad thing, but you just want to make sure that you're doing the harassment. You got the advantage, and so far he's just not. He's doing okay with his economy, doing very good with his economy actually, but he needs to be attacking a lot more. That's one thing I did notice, that he didn't do much, because I was able to get my defense back up. I got 2 siege tanks, I got quite a few Marauders, Marines, I do have a lot of Vikings, and I do have a planetary fortress up in my secondary. He is getting an orbital command. He's still stuck in economy heavy basically. He really doesn't need to rely on getting a 3rd orbital command. This is really a useless. I mean, he's got 2 orbital commands already. You can call in as many meals as you want with 2 orbital commands, but with this one right here, if he had a planetary fortress, he would have been a lot more secure, and he probably would have been able to attack. With these, you know, medevacs, and he probably would have been able to do a lot more damage than just stay in defense. I do notice this, and I kill that. He did drop a siege tank, and he just noticed that I had my Vikings, so he decided to garrison the siege tank back and do that medevac, and my Vikings just took it out. So anyway, I do notice that this high ground is not being used right now, so I am definitely unsieging these siege tanks, getting these medevacs ready. I'm going to be able to put some serious pressure on this economy over here. So he is just sticking Marine heavy, Banshee heavy. He's got his 4th command center up with a 4th orbital command, and I think he needs to be going planetary fortresses, because they can just do most of a lot of damage right now. Not too much against siege tanks, but I mean, my Marauders or Vikings, I mean, that's what you need a planetary fortress for, especially these Marines. I mean, I'm not Marine heavy or Marauder heavy as much as he is, but I do have a planetary fortress, and I'll be able to take these out no problem. These siege tanks are going to do quite a lot of damage to this economy over here. He has no sight of my siege tanks or Marauders. And I do notice that he is attacking me down here. I have to back off. I do decide to back off my Vikings over here just for a little bit to see what he's going to be doing with his Banshees. I took out at least 3 Banshees, I believe, and damaged quite a few more too. So Strider's not sitting in a good position right now. He did lose his 2nd economy. He's only down to one base right now. So he's gonna have to do something. He's gonna have to push out with some of these units. Still sitting very strong with the siege tanks. I mean, I however have I kept my whole little army right here. Do have my 3rd expansion up. I haven't decided to go refinery, build any refineries yet, you know. So and I'm just now scouting this base. As you can tell, I sent my Vikings over here, And oh, that's not so good. Vikings at least. I lost 2-3 Vikings. Finally was able to notice that he did have this expansion over here. So definitely, I'm going to be responding to this building quite a few Vikings still. And I do have my medevacs full of siege tanks and marauders and marines, so I'm going to be sending them over there. I do notice that there is a little bit of an access, you know, like a drop zone basically for siege tanks and stuff, because of these missile turrets will just tear these medevacs apart. So what I'm going to do is I was gonna send my siege tanks over here, but I just figured I would just be delaying. You know, I would be wasting too much time. I do notice this, however. I'm going to be sending my siege tanks over here to definitely do some damage against these missile turrets. So, going into siege mode. He does have a lot of banshees. Couldn't do anything with the banshees because I have quite a few Vikings still just over here, and I'm doing a lot of damage right now. Is sending his SUVs off the line to try and do some damage to these siege tanks. I should have noticed this, but his SUVs are still attacking my siege tanks. Didn't really notice it that much because they kind of just